from India's point of view, the really good news is the big difference from that first T20 international that England won so convincingly is the two personnel changes. One, of course, Ishan Kishan came in the second game, exploded, and how? And then Rohit Sharma coming back. So Zaheer, really looking at the arrival of some of these youngsters, I think Ishan Kishan is the first of many who have really lit up the stage coming in from what's obviously a good system in place.
Obviously, yes. I mean, the credit has to go to how the infrastructure of cricket has evolved in India. I've always been mentioning that fact that the National Cricket Academy came into existence around 2000 or 99, if I'm not mistaken, and then from there on, IPL started around 2008. That again gave a platform for youngsters to rub the shoulders with the experienced player, international players. Gave them that opportunity to learn more, and then the shadow tours. The shadow tours also roughly started around that time. Where the India A team started touring with the Indian team to the same nation, and that kind of added that widened that exposure to the youngsters to adapt to different conditions, and experiences is something which cannot be bought over a counter. So you have to actually go and earn that, and the opportunities were there for everyone to make use of, and that's the result of that is seen now with the youngsters coming on the big scene, looking more and more prepared, looking fully ready when they're there. And a lot of credit has to go through and through to the wide range of people and people who actually put this infrastructure together.
Fair enough. I mean, from the outside, obviously, Michael, you'd be seeing your own the England Lions and the other structure that you have there. But just staying with the Indian structure, it's not something we necessarily did many, many years ago. But ever since it started, and they're talking about a similar thing happening for India's tour of England this summer, it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think A-trips are so important. The IPL is massive for Indian cricket, for all these younger players to be exposed to the pressure, to mix it with the best in dressing rooms, the best coaching, the best minds. So that's going to take your game to a great level before you've even played for your national team. I just think younger players are prepared so well these days. I think the coaching, the pathway programs, I think they're exposed to quicker bowling sooner. I think they're exposed to pressure sooner. I think the training programs now that coaches put in place are more geared towards performance out in the middle rather than just hitting balls. I go and study a lot of young players that are practicing in the UK through the county systems, and I just look at the coaching systems and what they're asking the players to do. And that's down to their skill sets, to their nutrition, to their fitness. It's just a more professional world that cricket has become. So it doesn't surprise me at all that a young player goes out into an international arena in front of many and they just look like they belong. All the psychologists around the group these days that talk to these younger players, the ex-players pass on all their information. So these players suddenly arrive and they look like they belong straight away. You do find, though, that a lot of young players have this kickstart. A lot of England young players have had the kickstart, and then all of a sudden it plateaus out and it flattens out. And it's can you go again and get that kind of lift in your performance levels, having had 2 or 3 failures when you've suddenly been questioned by the media and ex-players like myself question whether you've got the game to be able to cope with it. But you see so many young players that hit the scene and hit the international game running. And that's why you look at India and what they did in Australia with pretty much a second string team. That's a remarkable Test series victory. I said it at the time. I don't think in my lifetime I've seen a better Test series victory away from home than the one that India produced in Australia.
Again, it's all about the preparation. I mean, we can allude to someone like even Ian Chappell who maybe made a comparison between, say, a Rishabh Pant and a Dom Bess. Both have promise, but just the preparation or lack of maybe for someone like a Dom Bess, Zaheer. There were times when you could see him chucking out those full tosses, and it was not just those, but there was something that X factor that seemed to be missing.
Michael used that analogy where he was mentioning about exposure to pressure scenarios and situation. I think that's something which is very important. If you're exposed to handling pressure early in your careers, then you are better prepared. And I think that's something which the comparison what you're making with the Aussie tour and the youngsters delivering there, and someone like Rishabh Pant able to absorb that pressure and perform at the highest level. I think those are the important component. What is getting you ready to be performing at the highest level. So that is something which is very heartening to see. As we are saying all the time that cricket is getting more and more professional. The exposure and the access to knowledge is also improving. So these are the factors which actually contributing to immensely to the success of Indian cricket, what you're seeing right now.